Hello, this is Amy from the Emerald Empress. I am here to do the reading for Gemini for the month of May 2025. I'm going to tell you right now, I already think that this is a love reading. I'm getting the sense that this is going to be a love reading for Gemini, which is interesting because normally when I do readings, it's, personal readings. It's about, kind of your all over life. But I'm definitely getting the sense that, you're in a relationship right now and, you're either at the very end of a relationship or you're at the very beginning. Okay. The first card that we have is the Death card upright. Represents endings, new beginnings, change, transformation. It does not literally mean death. That is not a thing. If I normally channel my spirit guides. Sometimes it happens during readings, but I am not getting the sense that this is like a literal death. Very rarely does it actually mean a literal death. It's more of like a metamorphosis that comes out, and it's the end of a cycle. And then we come into the Nine of Pentacles, and that's like a fruits of your labor card. It's reward, luxury, self-sufficient, independence. And I almost kind of feel like you're stuck in this relationship. You want to see the fruits of your labor. I feel like you've been working so hard on this relationship and it's coming to an end, and it's like all you want is independence. You want to see the fruits of your labor. You want to be financially independent. And it's like you've been taking on this burden, which we can see in the 10 of Wands. It's like you're taking on all of these extra burdens, all of these extra responsibilities. You're working so hard and you want to see it to completion. But I feel like in the King of Wands reversed, which might indicate your partner, there's a lot of impulsiveness. And maybe at the beginning of your relationship, which Geminis can be impulsive, but not always. Not always. Once a Gemini finds balance in between the twins, they're a very sound person. They work very hard. They typically love their families. Whoever they love in their lives, they hold them to the highest regard and they'll do anything to protect them. But I'm feeling like you are dealing with this King of Wands who's impulsive, sometimes ruthless, has high expectations, and these expectations are unachievable. There are things that they want that you give to them, but then it's like not good enough, or then they change their mind. It's something that you're never going to achieve, and I think that you're realizing this. Okay, and then we come into the Three of Swords, which that card typically is shown with a big heart, and it's raining outside and there's 3 swords stuck in it. And it's a card of grief, emotional pain, sorrow, hurt. Sometimes it can represent divorce, heartbreak. And then I feel like when we have our hearts broken, it's like we take a step back. And there's this time. And sometimes, yes, with Gemini, it can be a little bit of impulsivity, or I don't even know if that's a word, but it's yes, you can be impulsive, but it's like you've reached a point in your life where you've reined that back in. And so now we're just kind of going to sit in it for a while, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to reflect and we have to go, okay, what did I just go through? What happened? How can I prevent it from happening again? But I don't get the sense that this is it. I don't think that this is, the end of your love life. I think that there are more things out there for you, but let's see if what I'm getting is correct. Woo, just had a whole bunch fly out. Okay. All right. So we have the Nine of Wands reversed, which is usually, a card of feeling on the edge. It's like you're overwhelmed, your defenses are down, you're fatigued, and you have a lack of motivation. And then we have the Emperor coming in reverse. That represents sometimes a dominant male or female, just depending on, who you are and what you're going through. But even though this Emperor is domineering and controlling, they themselves lack the discipline. Even though they're rigid and they're stubborn, they're not following through. And then we have the Lovers in reverse, okay? And that's usually a card that represents a time of self-love. Sometimes we have to take a step back, look at what's going on, and say, okay, I'm imbalanced. I'm detached. I feel like I've made a bad choice. I have now a fear of commitment. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just an imbalanced thing. There's disharmony in your life. So then we come to the Hermit reversed, which means isolation, loneliness, distance, feeling like you've lost your way. And then we have the Ace of Swords, confusion, brutality, chaos, clouded judgment. But it's also a card of inner clarity. So I think that this time in your life is necessary. I think this relationship, whatever it might be in, I feel like it's a romantic love relationship, but it couldn't, it could be something different. I always say, take what you can, leave what you can't. But I think that this time in your life is going to be a good thing in the long run, because then we have the Two of Cups. And it almost kind of looks like on the card, you have two people, they're holding their cups. The man is reaching out. They're both kind of in these beautiful headdresses. It's almost kind of like they're standing at an altar or getting married. But I think that this is going to be the love that ends, that shows you what you really want. It shows you that you're a person that's worth celebrating. It shows you that, a unified love is something that you should be going out for and achieving. It's a card of mutual attraction. So I think that once you get past all of this, you're going to find somebody who values you more. Because right now you're in that Six of Wands energy, which, yes, is personal celebration, inner harmony, but it also means conflict with other, breakdown in communication, home conflict. You're in a transit or a transitional time. And the last card that we end on is the Empress. I love the Empress. That is a card of abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine energy, good parenting, development, accomplishment. I think we're ending a bad cycle here. And we've got to end this bad cycle, go through our time of inner reflection to get on the other side and attract that partner who's going to value us. So then we can come into this Empress energy that is abundant and nurturing and amazing. All right. So that is what I'm getting for Gemini this month. If you want me to clarify anything, if you want me to dig deeper for you, I always offer personal readings. You can reach out on any of my social media pages. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, as well as YouTube. You can always DM me. I'm on WhatsApp. Reach out and we can get that booked for you if you would like to go deeper. All right. Well, take care, and I hope everything ends up well. But I'm thinking in the long run, it's all going to work out for you. Bye.